Maria. All right, we sound good. All right, this dude goes, we're at a point now in our dystopian hellscape, okay, that you're either someone significant at a corporation earning six figures, or you're a nobody earning $17 an hour struggling to survive. I don't like that. He goes, the in-between middle-class jobs are gone. All right, buckle up, baby. Strap in. We're going to go deep today. If you're new here, welcome. All right, we're going to get deep, but let's try and have a little bit of fun and kind of laugh this stuff off because I get it. I'm living here with you. We're going to really set the tone with this one here, okay? Because the wealth gap is not looking good. And we've got these two really uber rich guys chiming in on it. And I don't blame them for being rich. I get it. Get your money. But this is going to set the tone. So, yeah, buckle up.
They tell people don't rent to people that make $60,000 per year. Like, I have over 50 tenants. I know what I'm talking about. Try to stay away from Section 8. Try to get tenants that make $60,000 a year plus or more. Try to buy B and C type properties.
Sorry, but you don't know what you're talking about. And you bought 50 units? I had 50 units when I graduated college. B and C properties, any C property.
Because I had 50 units before I graduated college.
Your average income is going to be less than $40,000 a year. $60,000 is going to be your average workforce housing, which is a B property. You're making statements that don't make sense. You obviously really don't know what you're doing, so whoopee shit, you bought 50 units, okay? Go buy 5,000 units. Go buy 10,000 units. And when you underwrite a property, you always put in a vacancy loss, and a loss to lease, and a loss to credit. You need to actually learn a little bit more about this business before you get on and start making videos and telling people what to do. Because, bro, you don't know anything.
Okay. He goes, try buying 50,000 units. You know what he didn't say? Try buying one house. That was the disconnect. At least the really uber rich guy could see that, you know, most people don't make $60,000 a year. So, like, thank God we have people like that, because if we just had people like the other dude, I can't say his name or else he'll flag my channel. That dude's like, I won't even rent to anybody who makes less than $60K a year. It's like, what? Anyways, just set the tone here, man. If you're new here, I'd like to read some of you guys' comments from previous videos. Keep it fun, keep it light, keep it loose. This person hit me up on Instagram, goes, love your videos. I've always noticed how people who were born into poverty typically remain poor. Okay, the reason I'm saying that is because in today's age, it's kind of like everybody being born for the most part is being born into like modern day poverty. I know, it's tremendous. So this dude really breaks it down here. Just get ready to be mind blown. This is FM Smith. I really like this dude. He does a great job of just breaking it down real nice like for us. Anyways, the middle class divided, explained here.
Middle class today is fragmented into 5 categories based on when you bought your home and if you pay for daycare. Check this out. Group 1 is somebody who bought a home before 2020 and has...
This is really good. Just, you're gonna hate this.
An interest rate under 4%. Their mortgage out the door is around $1,500. And then daycare, let's say they have no kids or their kids are in junior high, so they have no daycare. Their housing and daycare bill is $1,500 a month. Group 2 is someone who also bought a house before 2020, has a $1,500 mortgage payment, but has daycare cost of $2,500. So they're now spending $4,000 just on housing and daycare. Group 3 is a lot of...
Before he keeps going, I inherited this house when my mother passed away years ago, which, by the way, it's not just free. It comes with a huge headache. Insane. Lawyers are involved. It's not fun. You better have 20 grand laying around to just poop out of your butt. But what's crazy is 4 years ago, the mortgage was $900. The HOA was $200. It's $1,100. Now, combined, it's almost $1,800 just in 4 years. Yeah, so I just want you to think about that. I was just looking at this number, and I'm like, Well, I haven't passed that.
The millennials, these are people who bought a home at 6, 7, 8%. Their mortgage is $4,000 a month, but they don't have kids yet, or they're kind of waiting to see if they can even afford children. Then group 4 is like, I'm not buying, I'm going to rent for $2,500, but I also have daycare for $2,500. So that's $5,000 a month for rent and daycare. And you wonder why that group's saying, how do I save for a down payment? Then you got group 5. This is who bought a house at 7, 8% interest. Their payment's $4,000 a month plus daycare for $2,500 a month. So just on housing and daycare is $6,500 a month. So this family would have to make $100,000 basically just for housing and daycare. So you can see why those people are saying $150,000 is the new middle class. But then group 1 is saying, I'm crushing it off 80 grand a year. What are you talking about? You must be overspending. But this is probably the first time in history where when you bought a house and if you have children or not is making a huge difference in where you sit in the middle class.
Okay, that was a lot to soak in. I know. But even, like, think about this, right? Let's say you're fortunate enough to, not just be a single parent, because that seems to be very trendy nowadays. Kind of sounds stupid to me. But, like, this is somebody's, like, how many of you guys watching this right now would love to make $6,500 a month? Any of you guys? $6,500 a month? Oh, no. I'm misreading that. $2,500 a month just for daycare. Like, you may as well not even have a job. It's kind of messed up. Like, that really doesn't make any sense. I mean, honestly. Anyways, that was sent in from someone named Moonbeam.
Bad news.
And I appreciate that. All right. People like to think just obtaining 6 figures a year is, like, the easiest thing in the world. It's very difficult. I've been trying a long time. But this dude's Big Ward, he has an excellent point about race. All right? This is kind of trippy stuff here because the whole like white privilege and all this stuff, which is real by the way, but that's all gone out the window. I'll let him explain.
The white man, the Chinese man, the other man, they broke too. The white man, or whatever other race of men you want to try to date outside the black race, they broke too. It ain't just the black man. And we ain't broke, we just ain't, the majority, 6 figures or better, the majority of people ain't making that kind of money. Not just men, not just black men, people that go for any race or any sex. It ain't many women, ain't many men making that kind of money.
That was Big Ward. I'll leave his channel down below. We've talked back and forth a bit because I don't look at things. A lot of people. Oh God, how do I put this delicately? Colors out the window. Like it's all about. Like if you're born into it, different story. Like this dude here, Tone Talks. I've talked to him a lot on the phone. Actually, I'll leave his information below. But this video is from 5 years ago. And I know it says, where is the black wealth going in the 21st century? Well, he brings up in this video, and we've talked on the phone the other night, and he had an excellent point. It's like this dude saw into the future. And in this video, he says, like, your color does not matter. It's like what family you're born into and who you know, that is all that's going to matter. He said this 5 years ago. And it's kind of actually, it's a little bit alarming. And I don't like it. But I'll leave the information down below. But it's pretty crazy because it's getting to a point where we're all going to have to, work together somehow. Like, you better be ready to be shacking up with people. We'll talk about this at the end of the video. But, yeah, this is way bigger than, I'm bringing all this up because this is in the ghetto here, okay? I want you to see this. Palm trees on the roof. The minimum unit for a studio in here is $500,000. They have ones going for $10 million. This is literally in the ghetto. And I bring this up because a lot of, even me, this is right down the street from this other one. They're just building luxury apartments all through the hood. I live in a hood area. I am the minority in my neighborhood. And I want you to see across the street is trailer parks. Okay, there's purple houses, pink houses, broken down, abandoned buildings. These are the type of businesses next. That's my car getting washed. Because I live in this community. Because this is where I can afford to live. Even though I make, statistically speaking, I'm in a pretty high bracket of what I make. This isn't to brag. This is like, it's just a local pizza shop that I support. I'm just kind of making a point here, all right? Are these uber wealthy people who can afford these luxury places, are they going to support Domino's or are they going to support Leo's? Are they going to go to that car wash that looked super hood? Probably not. And I'm saying this because where I live, this is where people have to migrate because they can't afford the other areas. I'm one of those people. I know. But now, my neighborhood, where I live, the gas station cannot have an ATM machine. You do the math on that. I'm in the hood. And the hood is getting priced out. My HOA for my neighborhood is $550 a month now, just for my HOA. Where else can people escape to? Their cars, tents, van life? See what I'm saying? Anyways, let's dig into this comment. This guy had an excellent point. We're finishing this guy's comment from the beginning of the video here. And just to clarify, like, I don't live in like a pink house or anything. I'm not in like the trenches, like the block. You know, I'm not Section 8 qualified. But I am in the fucking hood. I am the white boy. You get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. I don't see with color. All right? I look at life a lot different than that. It's much bigger than what color are you. Okay? Because a lot of white people who live in these nice neighborhoods, they can't even afford that shit. They should be living right here with the rest of us. And they will. Everyone's going to end up, I hate to say this, I really do. I don't want to get too negative. Anyways, this guy makes an excellent point. Companies either want someone they can underpay and do all the work no one else wants to do, or they want a highly experienced professional that can earn the company $1,000 an hour on their shift. The only way to get to that point is just to suck it up, put in your time, be a rock star, work ethic. Yeah, okay. Well, here's the deal with that. Surviving through that with what's going on to get to that point, that's going to be the hard part. I'm not saying it's not possible. Trust me, there's opportunity out here, but none of it makes any sense. So, for instance, I'm sitting here talking with you online to make money. I would have never guessed. Okay, anyways. But this is like, I think like this guy, but unfortunately we live in a world where, I'm going to let this guy say what he has to say because I actually agree with this gentleman here.
And how no amount of money is ever enough. And
life isn't just career and working. And that is a very American thing of like, let me accumulate more and more and more and let me, no amount of money is enough. And that's like a fucked up way of thinking, I think, that we all can't help it. That's how our society is structured. But I'm trying to like stay away from that.
I wish I was more grounded like that.
So I brought that clip up because I want you to think about that. That's where it's at. And even if you wanted to live where it's like, I just want to make enough money to survive, it's getting to the point where you have to do what this dude's doing. How I feel coming home after a 16-hour shift just to barely afford rent. No one wants to go in. He's making a joke here. You got to love the enthusiasm. But that's where it's at. The greed aspect. And I don't want to get too like, conspiracy with you guys. I really don't. But I don't think any of this shit's by accident. I really don't. Like, I think the level of greed has just set in at such a high level. It's kind of awesome. You got to love it. God bless America, right? Anyways, this person goes, "Hey, Jack, I'm 29 years old. I was born in 1994. This is back to like we're programmed to just like work more. He goes, "I'm a first-generation Mexican-American. My parents came from Mexico with nothing and managed to build a life for themselves. I grew up watching them do that, so I guess it's never been hard for me to work nonstop. But at the same time, since I grew up, watching my parents struggle, invested everything I had at like 25 years old, and this year I will escape the matrix. Yeah. But it's crazy to think that that's how we're literally raised, is just to more status. Who are you? What do you do for work? And it's getting to a point where, like, if money starts to not, like, do anything for us, less and less people are going to fucking be doing these jobs. Like, it's like, would you rather make, I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging out. This lady's having an epiphany right here. And I think a lot of the world, or at least America, is having the same epiphany that this lady's having.
Is anybody else just absolutely drained? So tired. And I'm 31. I'm not even close to retirement. Like, how, like, there has to be other people going through this. I mean, I've obviously seen videos. I don't live under a rock, but, like, this.
Well, you're about to live under a rock because that's all you're going to be able to afford. I'm just kidding.
This economy and, like, what's going on, this is, like, scary. Like, I work so much and so hard, but I'm still not comfortable.
Well, you got the red leather, baby. Come on now. You bitching with the red leather. Come on, girl. Shit, sugar. Just making a point.
Like, I'm still, like, I'm so tired. It's like being in a literal hamster wheel.
Only 40.
That's exactly what it is. It's never ending. And I don't think that this shit ain't by accident. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole with you guys, but I'm a corporation. You're a corporation. You're a corporation. Look it up. We're literally, all they look at us, and think about this, the status thing, before we let Big Daddy FM Smith finish us off here. Think about the status thing. People treat you and perceive you on who you are and what you do. So if you're a successful corporation person, you get treated a lot different. I remember that Andrew Tate guy. I don't care about for the guy. I don't know the guy, but he did say a genius thing one time. He said the only way to escape the matrix is to be uber rich or be homeless. There's no in between. And I'm starting. That actually makes all the sense in the world now. Anyways, let's let this guy, back to this dude. We're going to wrap it up with him and really paint some perspective here. And this shit ain't by accident. Just, you could see the numbers.
Boomers had 13% interest rates in the 80s. We should be grateful that our interest rate's only 7.5%. Well, we got to run the numbers because in 1980, the median household income was $22,000. The median house price was only $47,000. The house price was just double the salary. And if you put down a 20% down payment and closing costs, it was only $11,000, which is half the yearly salary. So yes, you had a 13% interest rate, but because the house price was so small, your monthly payment with property taxes and homeowner insurance was only $485 a month, which is only 26% of your gross income. But fast forward to today in
Take notes.
2024, the median household income is $85,000, but the median house price is $415,000. It is 5x the salary. And a 20% down payment and closing cost is $100,000, which is more than our actual yearly salary. Now, our interest rate is only...
Yeah, look at that. 450. Look, over here, this is less than the salary. So the 11K is half of that. It's
7.5%, but the monthly payment is still $3,000. Someone making 85 grand cannot even qualify for this. If they were somehow able to, it would take 40% of their gross income, which would make them house poor.
So in conclusion, okay, this is something that I do, and unfortunately a lot of you guys are going to have to do. And a lot of you guys are going to end up doing, whether you want to or not. I'm already prepared for it because I like this style of living anyways. So this person goes, I just don't understand why people can't go live with roommates or friends or family if they are struggling. Makes sense to me. Goes, why do Americans view living with others as a negative thing? Well, let's see. Everything's me, me, me. Selfishness has been promoted on a mass scale since we're born. That's why. Anyways, why do Americans view living with others as a negative thing? There we go. I have never ever understood this from the American people. It's all about status. It's all about what you own, what car you drive. Maybe that is where the problem is. Everyone is being judged consistently based on these things. This lady's really nailing it. And you really know what sucks? This is why people are struggling and everybody is broke. Let me add. Oh, she's still going. Okay, sugar. Everybody is trying to fit in the same shoe, and I'm sorry, but one size does not fit all. Yes. I've only lived alone once in my life for like 8 months. Technically, it wasn't even living alone. I was taking care of my father, who has dementia and no money. So it was actually costing me more money. But it was like I was living alone because he's no one's home. It's just a corpse walking around, making problems, not actually helping. So it's actually worse than living alone. Cost me more money and more messes to clean up. But other than that, I've always lived with a friend or I've lived with family. Always. Because I've always known this to be true. And I don't care what you do. Remember, I don't even know you. Okay? But this is what's going to happen. Everyone's going to be shacking up. Because you can't afford privacy. And you know what? If you want to work less, this lady, what she just said, this is part of the solution. And it's going to be one of the only solutions we have. Unless you want to go live in a car or the woods or a tent or a van. Or an office building. Which those are not even going to be affordable anymore either. Or either. Whatever. And speaking about not working so much, that's why I have 2 YouTube channels. And I have a Patreon. Which, thank you for your guys' hard-earned money. And I understand. I don't expect a lot of people to donate money to me. I donate money to people as well. Okay? It makes the world go around. I'm not greedy. But I do these things because I understand that I have to have like 5 sources of income. And even before this was successful, I bartended and I had my own resale business on the side. And then I did my resale business for 2 years, but it got to the point where it was like $60K a year just wasn't enough, and I had to go back to bartending. I know. It's pathetic. And now I'm doing this. I mean, I started this journey like 10 years ago, but it took me forever to figure this out. And even this is up and down. I have to play it super cool. Like, I have to be doing the most. And that's why I'm spreading myself out. Because if one of them drops, I have another one. Then I also have someone that lives with me to help with the bills. And I'll probably have another person living with me. Spectacular. You guys leave your thoughts. Shout out to all my Patreon members. I didn't mean to get too deep, but shit's not looking cool, man. And I don't like it. I don't fucking like it at all. I really don't. And, eventually something's got to give. Anyways, take a hit and get the hell out of here. Good talk.